The floor is frozen, so Tanya fell like 5 minutes ago. She fell like a dead horse. My name is Blaž, and one of my life goals is to travel the world. 3 years ago, I left my old job and created Yummy brand in Slovenia, and in 2022 I decided to spread the brand and give it a purpose: entertain people while traveling and exploring the world. I created Yummy Adventures. Hi guys, welcome to Yummy Adventures, welcome to city of Edinburgh. So yeah, we have just done the walking tour, free walking tour in our hostel. It was amazing. We had a tour guide that was called Ross, and he was like singing, he was talking about all kinds of things. He was like making funny stories about the history of Scotland. So it was like entertainment, but verdict, it was like 100% truth, but in a funny way. So you could listen, you could remember everything. I will tell you like in a voiceover over the clips that what I have learned about the city of Edinburgh. But yeah, I can't forget his attitude, his energy, his everything. It was mind-blowing, really good. Tour guide Ross first took us to the Lost Close, which is like a basement of our hostel, which was in the history a court, then a bar, a prison, and later on a coffee shop. Actually, he explained us everything about the city of Edinburgh, about its history and how rich it is. Here you can see the map of the Edinburgh, of the old and new town. And then we walk to the city cathedral. It's a St. Giles Cathedral in the center of old town of Edinburgh, and it was simply astonishing. Its Gothic style, music and everything made a complete picture. When you listen to the stories of Edinburgh, you realize how rich the history of the town is. Scottish culture was banned in the history because it was a bit different, a bit weird for United Kingdom. But when King George IV arrived to city of Edinburgh, he fell in love with Scotland, he fell in love with culture, and he fell in love with people of Scotland. So he lifted the ban of Scottish culture. The thing that amazed me the most was that every building and every street has a story of its own. Some of the stories are more positive, some are more negative, but overall they create the whole package of the city of Edinburgh. Here in the next clip you will see the most famous street in Edinburgh. It's Victoria Street, famous for its colorful buildings on the ground floor and more Gothic style in the upper floor. And while you're walking around the city, you see a lot of small streets between buildings. Those are called closes, and those were actually built because there wasn't enough space between buildings to build huge streets, but people somehow needed to come to their yards, to their apartments, and so the closes were created. Here we learned that the upper floor and the lowest floor were reserved for poor class, and the middle floor had a toilet and was reserved for richer people. Edinburgh is also very rich in literature, and one of the most famous Scottish writer, Walter Scott, was born in the city. In his work, Waverley Novels, he described the beauties of Scottish cultures and Scottish nature, and those were the stories that inspired George IV to lift the ban of Scottish culture from Scotland. Truly, in city of Edinburgh, you get the feeling of whole Scottish culture united in one town. And yeah, I almost forgot about the story of a cannonball that was misshot from the castle to the neighbor building, and later on became a famous site in Edinburgh. Okay, so we have decided to go to the Arthur's Seat. That's like this hill up there. We don't know how long the path is, but we know that we're going to struggle to get to the top of the hill. But we ate a big lunch at the Tron in the city center. I had amazing mac and cheese with pulled beef ribs, pulled ribs of the beef, something like this. It was amazing, but like calorie dense, but it wasn't enough, so I had to get another brownie with that speculoos spread, and it was like super chocolatey, super dense. So now we're going to hike up to the hill, and we're going to look on there is a view of the magical city of Edinburgh, and everything is lighten up now when it's Christmas time. So it will be worth it, right?
Yeah.
And it's freezing and my hand is going to fall off. Okay, so we found out that the Arthur's Seat is that mountain over there. But we're playing the game better safe than sorry. So we're just going to go up that hill. But the path towards that hill leads like this. So you have to walk up there to go all the way back there and have an amazing view of Edinburgh city. And we're walking like we are drunk because it's freezing and it's frozen and our shoes are not appropriate for that kind of conditions. Yep, and my nose is leaking. Tanya, I need a napkin. Well guys, so that's it. It was worth climbing the mountain, the hill, if I can say it, for the view like this. It really is amazing traveling like this, exploring different cities and then like getting lost in the city and then find your way in whole another street, in something unexpected, in something totally different. It's amazing, really. Like the feeling inside here, that's why you're traveling. That's why I say travel is the only thing you buy that make you richer. So we are about to descend from the hill now. We're going down. It started to snow. We're pretty wet, like you can see. So let's hope that we don't get lost. Oh, come on. Good morning guys and welcome to a new day. Today we are leaving Edinburgh and going to Glasgow. So we're taking a train. We paid like £28 for both for return ticket, and we are leaving at 9 o'clock. There's a 1 hour ride to Glasgow and then we're going to explore the city, and that's it. Okay, so we went to a Pret a Manger to get some coffee, some warm coffee, because the problem is that our hostel is super cold. Like it's 15 degrees, so we were freezing inside. I could barely sleep tonight because I was so cold. So here is the only spot on this train station that it's like pretty warm, so we have to warm ourselves into our course and then we're going to Glasgow. Yeah, after an hour of driving with train, we arrived to Glasgow, and first impressions of the city, it's very beautiful. Like you arrive exactly out of the train station and as you can see, we're already on a Christmas market. That's like super cozy. I love Christmas time and visiting different kinds of Christmas markets. It's so good, and everywhere you can get everywhere the mulled wine and mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is my favorite food, and you can get it everywhere. That's why I'm in love with with United Kingdom. One of the main things I would recommend in Glasgow or in any city is to like look on the maps, like main attractions, and then walk between main attractions and get lost in the city. And when you get lost in the city, you'll find new spots like cute restaurants, cafes, you find cute bakeries and like sites, yeah, that weren't planned to be seen, something like this. And yeah, it's the same here in Glasgow. So just walk around and that's it. I think that it's that kind of a city that you have to look up, because on the lower part of the buildings are stores, restaurants, bars, very like commercial. But when you look up, you see that that type of buildings from Gothic style and more like architectural, specially designed, and it's beautiful up, but it's very commercial downstairs. You know what I love about big cities is that when you're walking around, you encounter. Oh, he fell, yep. It's freezing. The floor is frozen. So Tanya fell like 5 minutes ago. She fell like a dead horse. But yeah, about big cities and parks. It's so nice that you're like walking around all those tall buildings and everything. and then you arrive to a park with squirrels, with ducks, with ponds, with trees and fountains. And this is the Kelvin Grove Garden. It's a beautiful park in the middle of Glasgow. Now we're going to some art gallery, and then later, oh, she's going to eat from her hand, and then we're going to James Watt building, and then to Botanical Gardens. So and then you walk around, you can see like we're in a jungle. You walk around, we pass the university, we pass like most student common area with lots of Italian and international actually restaurants and coffee shops. And now we're in Botanical Gardens here in Glasgow. And yes, you enter the pavilion and you're walking around in a jungle. It's pretty amazing. We figured out that we only eat like American food when we're here in Scotland. Mac and cheese, burgers, poutine, that's Canadian. And today we're going to eat it again. So we have like toasties and we have poutine, so healthy food I would say. But we're walking a lot, so it's okay. So the thing is that we forgot that we have to visit the cathedral and the necropolis as well, but it is getting dark and we went through the main street. We passed the main street that we passed in the morning, and you can see the difference, like you could see the street in the morning without people, and now it's like full of people. Very crowded, a lot of street performers, lots of street food. I was just recording a video and then I realized that I had the selfie camera on, so I was recording the other side. And yes, we arrived at the cathedral. It's a massive Gothic style cathedral, but the main attraction is behind the cathedral, and it's a necropolis with a graveyard, and it looks like a Harry Potter graveyard, you know, from the fourth film, from the fourth movie, The Goblet of Fire, when they were transported to the graveyard and they were battling, the Harry Potter was battling the Voldemort. Well, the scenery is exactly the same, like the graveyard is amazing. It's a bit creepy because it's night, but no worries. We're not the only one here, I hope. Actually we are, yeah, we are the only one here. It's true that it's a bit scary, but actually the scenery is amazing. Like in the background you can see sunset, and behind us, actually in front of us, there's like a huge graveyard. It's spooky, it's creepy, but imagine this for Halloween. I think that there are parties on this graveyard for the Halloween, and the scene is appropriate for it. And then we returned to Glasgow Christmas market in the city center. It was nice, it was very expensive, and I tried this fudge which was very sweet, too sweet for me. And here is the look on the whole Christmas market. You see what I did there? Like ho. Oh, never mind. So we were right back to Edinburgh, and now we're in a Christmas market in Princess Garden Street. Beautiful Christmas market, huge Christmas market, very loud crowd, but it's worth seeing. It really is. You have to walk all around it to enter, but yeah, now everybody's looking at me. Okay, so good morning guys. We just woke up and checked out of the hostel, and we told them that it was very cold, and she was like, oh my god, why didn't you say to the reception we could turn on the heater, we could I think that we weren't the only one cold in the hostel, because everyone was walking around fully dressed up with hats and gloves, but it was a pleasant stay, but a cold one. So now we're going to the Dean village, and then at 1 o'clock we have flight back to Slovenia. Actually to Italy and then back to Slovenia. We went to Dean Village. Dean Village is like residential area of new town of Edinburgh. It has that England, United Kingdom style buildings, houses, churches, streets, cafes, shops, restaurants, and even cemeteries, like you can see in next clips. It's like being in a Harry Potter movie fighting Voldemort on the graveyard. Then you walk a bit around, you arrive to a bridge and another bridge, a little river that flows through Dean village. But here, right next to the river, it was even colder than further away. So I couldn't shoot much photos and videos because I had a feeling that my hand will fall off if I don't put away my phone. But from the footage I took, I think that you can make like a whole picture of Dean village of Edinburgh. On our way to the airport, we stopped at a cafe where we had a coffee, and then the problems started. We're still sitting on the airport. We had to have flight like now, but it was delayed like 1 hour and a half, so we have flight at 3 o'clock. Hopefully we will get back to Italy because a lot of flights have been cancelled, but I think that from now on no flights are about to be cancelled. So now I'm already at home. The flight went smoothly. We left after 1 or 2 hours and there wasn't any problem anymore. Yeah, that's it for first English vlog on my channel, and I think that I'm going to continue this one. Right now when I'm recording this, it's already December, late December. It's actually Christmas Day, and I've already been to London and to Vienna, but on Vienna I didn't shoot much, but in London I have a nice vlog coming out for you. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share among your friends, and let's spread the yummy community all over the world. See you in next vlog.